All right, another ladies' night edition of All Elite with Keeks. I'm here with the beautiful, the queen of Alabama, Bama stand up, Miss Stephanie Hardy from Hardy Podcast Wrestling. I'm here on this side of me, and then down below me, I'm here with my girl. I love her name, Cien Dog, Miss Beautiful Chocolate Cien Dog.
Thank you. Oh, I like that. Ring to it.
Cien Dog.
Yes.
I'm gonna give people a little time to enter the chat because they start jumping when Ross start being on that BS. Uh,
Oh Lord.
Stephanie,
That's what we calling it.
yeah, you
Down.
put Raw on mute and you watch our show. That's what usually people be doing when they see something they don't like. They unmute, watch,
Click over.
yeah.
You know what though?
Yeah.
I
So
can't even
it's
be
cool.
mad
I'm
because
with it.
I'm guilty, so I can't.
Yeah, that's why I'm keep it real. I already know what it is. Mute. Okay. Oh, that's fine. Let me mute this real quick.
I think I maybe have only done that maybe one time in my whole life for Raw, and that was when Hit the Floor was on VH1, and it would come on Mondays, and I would switch back and forth between Raw
Oh,
and that.
used to be so good.
It was so good, and that was my show back then. So that's the only time I ever switch back and forth between a channel and Raw. Other than that, I keep it on.
But you know what though? Sometimes it get good,
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it drags. So sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm
Yeah,
like, you know
sometimes
what?
it does. Yeah.
We like mute, and then I remember like, and it's so bad of me because it'll be like 9:30, and I'm like, oh wait, shit, Keeks is on. I'll be like, all right, Keeks is on the iPad, and then Raw is in the background on TV. But if it's commercial, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna just listen to what Keeks saying, leave everything mute. If it's like a good promo,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna unmute.
Mhm.
Respectfully, but then if it's dry, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna
Because
be
I
in the
want to
chat.
know what's going on too. I'm like, y'all,
Right.
I know y'all watching Raw. What's happening?
Right.
It's something spectacular. And they be in the chat. No. What's the name? Ain't there today?
Yeah.
It's funny because and shout out to Fan Club because I was like the only reason why I really be watching like hardcore watching AEW sometimes is because of Hobbs. And somebody was like at one point in the chat, I was like, all right, I was like, oh, it was like, oh, we watch AEW as a family, and I was like, yeah, because I gotta watch Hobbs. And then somebody in the comments was like, oh, he's not on, don't worry. I was like, ooh.
Dang.
I was like, yeah, ooh.
I know that's right.
That's funny.
The heads up.
Sometimes,
Thank you, everybody in the chat. Welcome. Y'all know the rules of the show.
hello.
It's ladies here. We
Hello.
are respectful in the chat. You do not disrespect none of my guests in the chat. Y'all already know how I run things here. We respect women on this show, respect their opinions, respect their criticism, and keep it cute. Okay, we keep it cute in the chat, so we don't disrespect nobody and what they say. Okay, what they say is what they say. They said what they said.
Not on Women's History Month. We ain't accepting that.
They said
Yep.
what they said.
And all the time, we're just being honest.
Yes. So we're here. We're gonna do some Dynamite review, Rampage, of course, Women Business. Of course, I'm gonna give like a brief detail on Vikingo because I know people are new. They've heard him. They just never don't know nothing about it, and I understand. So that's what I'm here for. And our wrestlers of the week and our goofy of the week. We got yeah. We're gonna start off with Dynamite. Dynamite has started off with MJF Rebar Mitzvah celebration. The Rebar Mitzvah turned into we saw a 4-way with the pillars, the original pillars, which was Jungle Boy, Sammy Guevara, and also Darby Allin and MJF, which I have been saying on a show for weeks is going to end up being a 4-way for the title with the pillars. They may do it by Double or Nothing. Did you guys see the segment? We'll start with you first, Stephanie. What did you think about it?
Yes, I saw the segment, and the first part of it I really enjoyed because you got to see a lot of Jewish culture in that way. Because when it comes to, a bar mitzvah, you've heard of it in pop culture, when you've watched certain movies or certain TV shows where the characters just so happen to be Jewish, and then you see it, a tad bit, but you don't see like the full thing. I really felt like that was a good show of what a bar mitzvah, really would be. And it looks like a really cool, even though it is a coming of age, it's a really cool party. And that's kind of what MJF made it look like in terms of his celebration for still being champion after everything he went through with all of that, with that Iron Man match at Revolution and all the other drama that was going on with that as well. But I really liked the party component. But watching all the other men come out who basically helped to build AEW, like I feel like a lot of people, it's kind of easy to forget in the midst of watching all the wrestling that we watch at a time as media members that AEW is still relatively new, but yet they're still building their legacy. And when you think about the legacy of the men's division, these men helped build it to be what it is now. And to watch all of them, have a moment throughout the show's evolution and their evolution, and all the things they've done and accomplished, come together and talk about, hey, like we've got stuff going on and we have all these goals, and all of it being directed towards MJF, who is the champion. It was really good stuff. Like, it was really intense in some places, but it was still really good and to the point, and just, it made for good television. So I liked that whole segment. It was pretty fire.
Same question for you, Miss Reload. I'm gonna say Reload for this.
Just to piggyback, also I totally agree with what Steph is saying. I just like the aspect of, like, people always wanted to question what the 4 pillars are, and it's always been concrete that it's been those 4. First of all, to just go off of the bar mitzvah, I thought in true MJF fashion was the most arrogant thing you could possibly do. You're doing it in Canada. You're doing it in Canada on places. You're wearing a Burberry hat. You're wearing, and I knew it was a big. I knew he was going to do it because tis the season for a lot of Jewish people. They are in like Passover season. So I'm like, God, why do I feel like he about to have a bar mitzvah? And that's exactly what they opened the show with. Everything from the streamers to the cake. And then, like, you see these pictures online of what his real bat mitzvah looked like. And I'm like, yo, you were really a wrestling fan. Like, you were not joking. And it's like, you would think, like, okay, he's geeking. But then you look at the picture, I'm like, oh, no. Like, you're really a fan. Okay, touche. Right. I didn't have a wrestling birthday party. And if I did, they'd probably look at me like I was crazy. Like, my brother would have probably gotten it before me. So, right. Kudos to cool point parents to his parents, they get the cool points out the window. But I felt like it was very on point. Like I said, it's full blown on point, arrogant MJF to make the whole opening of the show about him. He did a good job paying attention to his heritage. He did a great job to me in the promos. But I think the addition of the fact that you had Sammy, Perry, and Darby Allin all in the ring, that was the perfect addition. It's like, of course, in their fashion, they ruined the bar mitzvah, which I'm not gonna lie, I liked it. I like Sammy's promo the most. And then Darby Allin, I think he's kind of like the Robin Hood in the whole entire situation, because everybody, for some reason, they're always rooting for him. Between him and Jungle Boy, they're always rooting for them. But I feel like in this instant, and I'm going to get into a little bit more, I don't think, Jungle Boy is ready. I think probably more Darby Allin's a little bit more ready for World Heavyweight title shot than him. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, I do agree with you. As far as Jungle Boy, it's this is all to test to see which one of them is ready right after MJF. And right. I do agree as far as Darby Allin, yes, but we know that Darby is saying that he's not doing this long term. More the Jungle Boy is more on I want to do this. This right. is my passion. And then Sammy, he's just not gonna ever get what he did, what he said about Sasha, just different things. His immaturity in the locker room, that's just still going to always be that cloud over him. And I know they're trying to revamp his image, but it's kind of like the damage is a little done. Like he was gaining like some in the promo, but it was still like but you still
people don't forget,
slightly problematic.
People don't forget.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially if it's like one of the favorite women that people love, which is Sasha Banks. So it's like,
yes.
And if it's not even just like with Sasha, right? Just the stuff that you've done online I understand, like, you're in a relationship, like, with your wife. People are still petty about that. People are still, like, they're Team Andrade. A lot of people are Team
Yes.
Andrade. And the fact that you, like, there were repercussions for on him, not on you. And then the backstage brawl happens, and there's repercussions on all of them. But, like, you and Andrade technically were fighting, and nothing happened to you, but something happened to Andrade. People don't forget that. They like to
And we
throw that.
haven't seen him since.
And
then
Eddie Kingston.
and Eddie Kingston, like, you,
Yeah.
like it's almost like you're the poster boy of favoritism, so people are automatically not gonna like you. So people just don't forget, like, he can, like, it's, again, it's a respect that he's one of the 4 pillars. You can't shy away from that, but, like, people also are not gonna shy away from what you've caused. No matter how many weekly blogs you have on YouTube, dude, like, some people gonna like you, but there's gonna be a lot of people that still think you're toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
reputation follows.
He has to grow up.
He does.
Grow up. MJF does too as well. Sammy and MJF is probably the only 2 immature pillars right now. Jungle Boy and Darby, they just stay out the mix. Darby, he used to, until they was like, Darby, you doing too much. And then he chilled ever since Sting told him, hey, chill, you doing too much. If you're gonna be partnering with me, you cannot be doing that.
Right.
Drip nailed it. He was like, Sammy had to look at him and you're talking? Like, you I thought somebody who didn't know said something. You know something. Like,
yeah.
finna hear from you. I'm not hearing it from you. Like,
right.
And you could see in the jab, he took a jab. He was like, listen, when you're not starting backstage, bro. I was just like, wait.
Everybody was like, that was the one time I was like, he ain't lying on that part. The one time I agree with him and I don't like him, and I was like, he not lying on that part. He stands some truth. There's some truth to that.
Yeah, and then the part,
like, what, you can't say nothing if he's protecting both of y'all, so you can't get mad.
Yeah, and the part that got me together about that promo was when Jungle Boy was talking about the journeys of all of them and how a number of them, with the exception of MJF, have all been on Dark or Dark Elevation. And he was just like, we've never seen you on that show. And I was just like, ooh. Or we've never seen you on Rampage. And that's true, because I watch Rampage every Friday because I have to cover it with Women's Wrestling Talk. And I have never seen MJF make an appearance on Rampage. Like, seriously, like, people talk about CM Punk and that whole thing, but he helped to build up Rampage when he was on there in terms of his appearances. And he did that when he wasn't even champion. But MJF, who's been there forever, with the idea that he had never been on Rampage or Dark Elevation, kind of just sent me and caught me by surprise. I was like, God dang.
Yeah, because
it's been on Rampage.
Right.
Jericho's been on Rampage. Daniel Bryanson been, like, everybody's been on Rampage
except him. And it's more or less of like, and I had this discussion all the time. It's like, it takes more than just the belt to be the main guy. And all those people have something in common. They've all been main guys at their point, so they know how important it is to help build a brand overall. Jericho's been there, Punk's been there, Mox has been there. They all know what it is, the importance of building that brand, not just on the main shows that matter and pay-per-views, but everything. Like, the first week Punk was there, he showed up and he was like, listen, he looked at Jungle Boy. He was like, listen, you're new. I don't know if I'm going to fight you, but I probably will. Christian, I already dealt with you. You're big as fuck. It's like,
Darby Allin, I want you.
like calling Darby Allin out. He's like, and then it's an overall thing. Like, you have to know where to plant yourself. Like, do I see MJF going to? No, I do not. Like, guys been complaining way too much for him to just be like, oh, I'm gonna just show up on Dark one day and show my face. No, absolutely not. Maybe if they were still in the Daily Palace, maybe. Not now.
Not now. Oh, okay. And then after that, we had, I'm sorry, took a job. But after that, we had it was Hangman Page and Dark Order versus Blackpool Combat Club. This was the official match to show off that BCC is finally heels. They're not faces anymore. They beat the shit out of Evil Uno. Poor him. I Like I've been saying, and welcome back to Stu Grayson. Because I feel like once he's now in place, Adam Page doesn't have to be included in this story because this is more of putting Dark Order back in good light since Brody Lee, because they haven't escaped that shadow from Brody Lee. So they're putting them back on the main focus, as people wanted to see them more. And now they can move forward without Adam Page, since Stu Grayson is back. He is officially back. Tony Khan announced that he's re-signed to the company. He's probably like the first person that's re-signed. So he's back in AEW. What do you guys, are y'all fans of Dark Order? Do y'all like Dark Order? I'll start with you this time, Miss Tiendo.
I am a fan of them. The one thing that I respect out of them is keeping everything going. It's, post passing.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I feel like they did drop like dominoes. I like them as a trio. I like where they're at right now. Did they need everybody where they're at? No. I feel like everybody was there out of respect. And it's a great thing, like to build that staple out of that type of unity. I feel like no matter what, though, the AEW fan base, whether it's 2, 3, 4, 20 of them, they're still going to respect the Dark Order no matter what. So and it made more sense. I was wondering who's going to be face and who's going to be heel at this point, because if you make Dark Order heel, it wouldn't work because of that respect. Fans were gonna, if it did, it would have taken a long time. They weren't gonna gravitate to it as quick, and it would have been way too long to gravitate. I feel like a Blackpool Club taking that, they make more sense as heels than the Dark Order does. And I like that Stu Grayson come back. Obviously, I feel like maybe he was just going through a little bit, not to cut what Wade Bryant was going through as far as like where you're at mentally. Can you be here mentally? Do I deserve to be here mentally? So it took him some time. I'm glad he re-signed. He perfectly belongs there.
Yeah.
It's just, like I said, though, the loyalty with the fans of this brand and Dark Order is always going to be because of the person that was their leader. And I feel like he's great step as leader, especially you need a day one. But like I said, even if it's like if it was just him repping the Dark Order, people would still be fans of them. So it'd be hard for them to turn heel. Makes way more sense for Jon Moxley and crew to be heel.
Yeah.
It worked out perfectly. And I enjoyed the match. 1000%.
Any match with Claudio and Moxley and Adam Page and Stu Grayson and Yuta, it's gonna be a great match. What about you, Stephanie? What do you think about Dark Order? You a fan of Dark Order, or are you like iffy? I know a lot of people are like,
I was a fan of the Dark Order because it was something really different, and like Sando said, I really respected the idea that they still wanted to remain an entity after the passing of Brody Lee, out of a sense of respect and because they loved the faction so much. But I kind of fell off with them when Anna Jay left. Like, that sounds real weird, but I really did like lose it with them and got kind of sad about it once Anna Jay left and then joined the Jericho Appreciation Society. I was like, come on. That broke my heart.
My brother was like, she's sorry to cut you. My brother was like, she homie hopping? He was like, why she leave Dark Order? He was like, wait, what happened? She was with the other group. Why she with Jericho now? I said, because her and Ty best friends. He was like, you can't be homie hopping like that, but I get it.
But that made me so sad. And then it made me even sadder when oh my gosh, he had on the mask and I can't remember.
Vance 10.
Yes, when he left.
But it was
that was huge.
Yeah.
Like, that was really huge, and that broke my heart too, because the way he left, like, he disrespected the baby. I was like, how dare you disrespect -1 like that?
You can't do that to that baby.
You can. And so it's just like, once those pieces started falling away, it made me really sad. But the idea that there's still a thing and it's still including Adam Page in that thing, because of course they do have their past history. That made me happy too. And this was just a new way to add more of sprinkles into Adam Page's feud with John Moxley, because I'm
Mhm.
not gonna hold you, like their rivalry was intense, but it was kind of getting long in the tooth for a minute. I was just like, how long are y'all gonna fight? But either way, this match was a good way to sort of just add more to it, to make it a little bit more interesting. And maybe it'll be over between them, maybe it won't. But either way, you know, it was still enjoyable for the most part.
Yes. So not too much on that. We'll of course go with the next. It was the AEW International Championship match. Orange Cassidy versus Jeff Jarrett. And I said on Twitter, this man is 55 and he put on a great in-ring show against Orange Cassidy. It was a great match. I had predicted last week that Jeff Jarrett might get the belt. I wasn't sure. It looked like he almost did it, but Orange Cassidy retains. Jeff Jarrett did his job as a vet. What did you think about this match, Stephanie? Did you enjoy it?
I actually missed this one because I had to step out.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so I can't really add that much to this match, but in seeing that Orange Cassidy retained, I was happy for him in that way, because Jeff Jarrett as a heel just makes me want to just shake him sometimes. But you know, outside of that, you know, I was happy that Orange Cassidy still won, because he's done a lot as the first international / all Atlantic champion, and I was glad that he retained. So that was cool. But I can't really add more to it because I had to go somewhere. I'm sorry, guys.
yeah, she come out of nowhere. She was got it like she come out of nowhere. What y'all say about him? What about you, Siendo? Did you watch the match?
I did.
There she go. She-
But you know what I was about to say? I was about to put on the disclaimer before I give my thoughts, because me and Hearts almost, our friendship was in a slight turmoil because I said what I said about Jeff Jarrett and I meant it.
Oh, Lord, what did you say?
Listen, you know
We're
how
not doing it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't, because I love her.
No, Stephanie, you know how I am about Jericho? That's how she is about Jeff Jarrett.
That's how I am.
That's why I feel like Tony Khan one day is gonna do this he gonna do this match between Jeff Jarrett and Chris Jericho, and that's gonna make us.
Oh my God!
Tony Khan,
Jeff Jarrett is not your savior.
Please don't do it. She said Jeff Jarrett's not your savior.
I'm done. He's not your savior. Listen, the comments are saying it for me, but
yes.
Although I feel the way I feel about Jeff Jarrett, that match was a banger. Like, it was good to see him at his age be as athletic as he is, and be as like, listen, I'm here to whoop your ass. Like, enough being the backstage boy. Like, for him to have the title, I just feel like it's gonna be like when Jericho. It is that. Listen, the comparison is gonna be there. Can nobody deny that? Like, you'd be surprised if you don't start getting like a stable out of Jeff Jarrett, which you already have. We already kind of have that, even though I know they try to make it more of Jay Lethal's thing, like to push Jay Lethal, which was in the beginning, because when they were going after the tag team titles, it was really about trying to elevate
Jay Lethal. But it ended up being about Jeff Jarrett.
But everybody was like, we came to see Double J, my guy. What? Like, when we were at Full Gear, when it was in Newark, it's funny because I was like, he's gonna be brass. I feel like this version of Jeff Jarrett, he's gonna give you I don't give a flying Jeff Jarrett. And a fan actually touched him, and he was about to black on that fan. I was like, yep, see, I told y'all, there it is. There's the I don't give a yep, because that's not in the script. He's not supposed to black on that man. You know, like, that guitar was 2 seconds away from flying into the ringside. But in all respect, that match was worth him winning. And I'm just gonna The match was worth it. The way that he was like, oh, I'm not about to do this whole high flying shit with you. I'm whoop your ass.
That's what that's what I
He was
love
like,
about Jeff
I'm
Jarrett.
not going. You take your hands from your pocket. I'm whooping your ass.
That's what I'm not doing that. Because he was about to do his signature. Oh, Jeff Jarrett just hit him. I'm not doing it. No.
He's like, I'm not, no.
No, we don't do that with me.
You know,
with somebody else.
You're not about to do this whole like, no. I'm whooping your ass.
Y'all stop fighting in the comments. I see it.
Right. Already, Lord.
Also, I want to give
He never drew a dime. Look at they about to start arguing. Y'all stop arguing.
They're about to start arguing, y'all. This is why I said I didn't want to say what I said. But now y'all gonna make me say what I said on Twitter.
Hey, stop instigating.
Y'all get drift wild up in here. Right. But I mean, like I said, the match was good. You know, they did their run of the mill, back and forth, fighting through the audience. But did I expect for Jeff Jarrett to win? I'm like, if he do all this and he don't walk out with this title, what is his purpose to being in the company? Because which I thought he was going to become a backstage producer. That's not happening. Not from Double J.
That's what I thought for a moment. Like I thought, he was really like gonna be.
I know he is.
He's over the house shows.
Right.
Okay. Tony is still slowly trying to gain trust from what Cody did.
Right.
So he's slowly trusting Jeff Jarrett. It's like he's slowly like, okay, Jeff Jarrett, since he's been here, he's kind of been, his stuff has been working. His creativity has been working.
Trust Jeff Jarrett, though.
He's trying to trust Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett has a good mind for the business. He does. If you allow him to, he does. Okay. But Tony is still like, I don't know, because we had a guy here, and
right, we see how that turned out.
His wife got on the mic and said, "Who are you, heifer?" and all of this other stuff, and we just. I'm not trusted right now.
Shout out to Brandy. I miss her.
I do too.
Who the fuck told you it was open mic night, bitch? I need that shirt.
Good.
I need Brandy in WWE right now. They need to sign her. I need her there. I need her.
See, I thought she was gonna pop up after Paul Heyman brought her up that one time a couple weeks ago.
Is she pregnant though?
For real, she was gonna.
She is.
I haven't heard anything.
I think she is.
Ooh,
okay.
Baby,
don't quote me. I'm gonna do my research in the meantime.
Brandy, not you being like me. That's what happened to me. It happens. You gotta be careful.
Hey, families, man.
Listen. They in the South, child. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Well, dang.
No offense, Steph. I got family from the South too. Trust me. I got a baby shower to go to 3 weeks from now, and it's baby number 4. So that's why I said what I said. Trust me. If people want to.
All right, we're gonna hit this main event that happened on Dynamite because Dynamite wasn't very long. It wasn't that many matches. And of course, Women Business is own segment. If you knew, I didn't skip the women's matches. We do that separately. We give women attention in the show. That's why. Just if you knew, listen. So the main event, we had the AEW World Trios Championship, House of Black versus Jericho Appreciation Society versus the Elite. Winnipeg's own Kenny Omega and also Chris Jericho was there. Chris Jericho got love in his hood. People was singing his song. They named his street after him. His parents, his daddy was there. Now, if you know the background of Jericho, you know his daddy did not want him to wrestle at all. He wanted him to continue the hockey legacy in the family. His daddy is like really famous out there for hockey. So, they wanted him to continue on to do the hockey, and he wanted to be a wrestler. And his daddy was like, "That you're messing it up." And now look at him now. So his daddy's proud to see. He was proud to see that, like seeing the fans sing his son's song and stuff like that. Jericho said that his dad was really proud to see that. So sometimes, if you got kids, sometimes let them fly. Let them be a butterfly on their own. They may be the greatest at what they do, and my GOAT is one of the GOATs, you know what I'm saying? So that happened. They slung Judas in my mind. Uh, then we had the match. The match was great. It was a lot of great moments in that match. Of course, the pop was loud when Jericho and Kenny was in the match. Of course, we almost had the part 3. So that was a real loud pop. And then, of course, House of Black was being some haters, and they ended that. It was a lot of great moments in the match. Do you have a moment in that trios match? I'm gonna start. Either one of y'all can start. Stephanie.
That's a beautiful picture, actually.
It's beautiful because Sammy's gonna get kicked in the face, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, definitely. If he doesn't land it, he's gonna get hurt. But I will say I did love the face-off between Kenny and Chris, because I'm interested in seeing the both of them fight yet again at some point, because I just feel like it'll just be one of the greatest like matches of all time. Like if they were to ever come back together again and have like a single thing, because you just can't go wrong with those two. They have been two of the best wrestlers in the past 20 years, I should say, even 15 or 10 or 15 years. So I was really intrigued by that. And I was really like on pins and needles. It was almost to the point where you couldn't even tell who really was going to win. Like it was like, is like the House of Black gonna lose?
Right.
Will the Elite get it back? Like, will JAS get it and be insufferable for weeks on end? Like, what's gonna happen? Like,
insufferable.
Like, the action was just really on point. But the House of Black pulled it out. But they're crazy, okay?
Yo,
JAS is crazy though. Like, they're really crazy. I don't mean like insufferable, like in a mean way, but they're just like, yeah, look at us. You know, they're just out there, but I don't mean that in a mean way. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Oh, that's some nice shots. Shout out to the photographers.
Yes.
Nobody don't talk about the photographers, but
the hardest working people ringside.
Yes, they are.
Gives them credit enough.
Shut up, Drew. Talking about stuff perfectly said.
But you need that. They're entered, and why I get from this whole entire match, again, another good match. That like I've been saying to somebody, I'm like, Dynamite's actually getting pretty good because all these entertaining matches. It's not before I felt like it was kind of like you put like bingo. Like if you ever been to bingo hall, how you have that old man that's just slow rolling like the thing to pick the ball out, and he's just like 56. So I feel like that's what they were doing for a while, but now a lot of their matches are starting to make sense. This made sense. You put the display of two of the best trio teams because you're trying to understand it's all in the fairness of trying to make this trio championship like a legit thing. No one really has it. You know what I mean? No franchise has it. It's not WWE. It's not anywhere else. So they're trying to make it like their staple, one of their staple championships. Like, listen, it's here. It's exclusive. Anybody can get it, but we need the teams to make sense. And I just feel like, I mean, JAS is just like entertaining as hell. Just the fact that like they're entertaining as hell. They're the sports entertainers. And we all know that's Jericho kind of taking the stab at his former employer. But like I said about the New Day, I feel like Jericho did this like on the wisp of like, I'm going to do this to be bitter, but I don't really care where it goes. But now it's actually going somewhere. Just like I said with New Day, like I think the guys got together and they're like, listen, they're going to pair us together. Let's just go out there. We don't really give a hell what people think and just make it entertaining. But now they're overly entertaining. That's the same vibe I'm getting from the Jericho Appreciation Society. It's nice to see. It's nice to see. I'm sorry, Malachi Black get the recognition he deserves because I feel like creatively they try to stifle him. And now they're pulling back the curtain. They're like, okay, you know what? Fine. We're going to give you the trio championships. Let's see what you do with it. Buddy's buddy. Like, he's just... And I just like the fact that they're finally getting... If they're not going to get their creative aspect out and you give them the championships, at least give them managed matches where you know they're going to excel. Mm-hmm. And I've seen them outside of AEW. I actually got the pleasure of seeing them when House of Glory was at the Terminal 5 here in the city. And they even went up against the owner of HOG. And that was an entertaining match. So I'm just like, I'm liking that. I'm going to see more of them when them having this belt. Because it's obvious where Tony Khan and Creative, where their focus is now. When we've had these matches with the Trio Championship so focused on Dynamite, And Rampage, you know exactly what they're focused on, and it's this title.
Yeah. And to add what you were saying about Jericho, we have to remember Jericho makes anything entertaining. Like even
He
the
really
fucking
does.
list
Yeah.
was supposed to be a joke, and
Right.
got everybody. You just made the list.
I wanted a list. It was hysterical.
And it is like what, and then like I said, what House of Black? I feel like they have more potential to go where they're going. I like their promos a lot. I like their cut. I like their what's it called? Their vignettes. I love
Mhm.
their vignettes. And I feel like do more of that. Like don't stifle the guys that can literally make your company, that can make your show worth something else to watch. I like their ring entrance, how it's all pitch black and then it cut to red before the match. I was like, I was like, ooh, I like stuff like that. Like it don't have to all be sports entertainment and theatrical, but give me something exciting. Give me something that's not like, you notice if you look at it, not one person was taking pictures with Flash when their interest is on. And that's the kind of respect and the command you want with your creativity. And I think that's what makes him what made Malachi Black so frustrated.
Yeah.
Like, don't stifle me creatively. Let this run through. And I'm glad to see that they're finally let it run through. Even with Julia Hart, like, I can't get her out as a cheerleader in my mind. But lately, I'm like, all right, I see you. You took a kick to the face. You got all the respect from me, girl.
Yeah, we were just talking about her on Turnbuckle Glam yesterday in our panel where we were giving her credit for her fashion in terms of her dark type of aesthetic with the House of Black. We were just giving her credit for her transformation. So it's really, that's really valid, like in that sense. I just really wish commentary wouldn't just call her all these weird archaic names like a Jezebel and all that other stuff. But,
that child, women, wrestling hates women, but that's a whole nother story.
Yeah.
Like anytime they're like that, it's just like y'all really like stuck in the back in the day. That doesn't work anymore. Like not everybody can be JR and call everybody Jezebel and all this. No, only JR was allowed to do that. We're not accepting it going forward. But that's just for them to get a kick out of some of the fans that still they secretly don't like women ballets. And they're out there.
We'll get to women business because I did want to talk about Julia Hart on towards women business. But after the main event, we did have a little cliffhanger that's been the talk that week. It ended out towards the end of the match. You had the brawl between BCC and Awesome Adam Page and also Dark Order. And then in the ring, and then he's about to get jumped by BCC, and then the Elite goes in the ring, and it was a big moment. Very poetic Dynamite, if you ask me. It started with the 4 pillars and ended with the Elite, so that that's poetic in itself. But even after that, it's still a little because, like I said, Kenny still doesn't know that it was Young Bucks that gave Adam the okay to do the buckshot. I don't think he still knows that. Young Bucks still wants to. He still doesn't know. Young Bucks.
Thought he knew that.
Young Bucks wants to still be Adam Page's friend. You can still see that. So it's still something there. Yes, BTE was great this week. I watched it. Young Bucks definitely missed a friend. Kenny's on some whatever. I still don't like you right now. I'm still not talking to you right now. That's what Kenny is on. Do y'all like seeing that, or y'all hoping for all 4 of them to hug and kiss and make up?
Yes. Yes, I feel like this is the season of reconciliation in wrestling. Like it's in the air, okay? And I feel like if Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn can reconcile and get their stuff together, then so can the Elite. They've been beefing with him for way too long, and I'm tired of it. Like, just hug it out, talk out your issues, be men, and just be friends again.
Listen, I only got room for one telenovela that's going on, and that's the Young and the Bloodline that's going on right now. And I'll keep the pettiness. Mr. Page allows to feel however he feels. He's take your time, sweetheart, and come around, okay? You take your sweet time. Because not for nothing, it wasn't like if he in his feelings. And it's the thing about Hangman Adam Page, I think he gets the rep for. The man is very much in his feelings. And if we could be really honest, if we're gonna be full circle about this, the whole reason why CM Punk's not there anymore is because he was in his feelings and got on air about it. And the person that was talking about it was like, this motherfucker went into business for himself because we didn't have to talk about that on air, but he took it upon himself to bring that crap up. But what do you see kind of in that defense? You saw the same three people that kind of want him to come back, defend him, and now we're in that whole debacle. But that's a whole nother topic for a different day.
It was more than that. It was more of what Adam Page said because it was the
right.
truth.
Adam Page was
the only one that saw right through that man, and he didn't like that.
Right. And it's like people were not me. I'm thinking it's all funny, but I'm like, Eddie Kingston tried to tell y'all, like, Eddie Kingston been said that, said that.
You
like the only reason
Hangman Page.
that's disrespectful. Not on my Drake tickets, child. But but Drip is right. He was straight spitting, but it was just like, time and place for everything, my guy. Like both of them, they both not exempted from that. I feel like that whole thing was like, it was very much personal, but what's wrestling without it being personal? Let's just be 1000%. But like slowly, I feel like that's going to be the build for everything for what happened last year coming full circle. I feel it's going to be a build. If CM Page, like Vaughn said, is due to come back, I feel like his
apology got to be louder than as the disrespect.
But it's not going to be an apology to them. It's going to be an apology to the fans because not for nothing. I think the reason why there's probably a delay is both sides don't see a reason to apologize.
Oh, yeah. Kenny already kind of let it be known I ain't got nothing to apologize for.
Right.
I regret nothing I did.
They pretty much on the specs of like, we grew here, you flew here. Like, we really grew this plant. And here you are trying to, like, take off our leaf, but you also saying these leaves look gross. Like, we're not going to allow you to do that. And has it made the brand a little bit stronger as far as probably like how things are working out? Yes. But at the same time, like there's two wrongs here. Like, did y'all really have to be like y'all grown ass men? I always said like these a bunch of grown ass men. Exactly. Go back to that comment with Sean Tragic. That's exactly what it is. Like it's all that like I'm gonna avenge you. Paige was avenging somebody. Punk was avenging himself. The Young Bucks and Kenny were avenging their brand. It's all over. Everybody's avenging somebody by honor. You know what I mean? Honors.
Vaughn, that's far.
That's a reach. Save the dog.
Right.
You attacked me. I'm trying to save the dog. I was just trying to save the dog.
Poor Larry.
Yeah, that's
the only person that deserves an apology. That's the only person deserves an apology.
Yeah,
is Larry.
My thing is, I'm like, I just still don't see in my mind the way they made it sound like was Young Bucks just super kicked the door down. Like I do not see that.
I don't see that either. Like who got like y'all just had like a full-on match. Y'all put on a banger to pay-per-view. Who the hell after taping is walking through like just like awesome like awesome what is it called, some Black Dynamite type stuff, just kicking the door in. Who's doing that? Who's doing that?
The drama, Jesus.
I'm telling you, like it's anime and WWE got telenovelas. This is an anime. Like you disrespected me. You disrespected my father. You disrespected my best friend that I was in the Indies with for 10 years.
Killed the whole island. Killed the whole island.
Come on, y'all. Grown ass men with families.
We ain't had no entertainment like that since the Charlotte and Becky situation. So some drama is always good. Sometimes.
Oh, girl.
The tequila on the water with the kid was the latest thing, but that wasn't like a big thing. That wasn't among wrestlers. This a whole among wrestlers, and then it's like in my head, I'm like, who is sitting behind a door with a dog on their lap? Like, you mean to tell me that arena ain't got big enough locker rooms for you?
Hey, Punk, we gotta work with you. I do not see.
I could like, is Ace still that crazy to be biting my? I don't know. I wasn't there. Only the people fighting and God was in the room. That's all I got to say about that.
But let's tap into Rampage. It wasn't that much on Rampage either, due to March Madness. We had Powerhouse Hobbs versus Ray Phoenix, which I feel like was the match of Rampage. Ray Phoenix did a German suplex on Powerhouse Hobbs. People was impressed to see that. But Ray Phoenix has faced Black Tyrus. Now, if you're familiar with AAA, Black Tyrus is the same size as Powerhouse Hobbs, and he done some stuff to him as well. So he has it in him. But this was a great match to still display the strength of Powerhouse Hobbs without making Ray Phoenix look like a jogger.
Right.
Great match.
It was a great match.
For the race war match that we had, Black Panther 3. That's what we had. Did you watch Black Panther 3? Stephanie, what you think?
Yes, I did watch Black Panther 3, even though it was a little bit of a struggle for me because of the game, because it came on so late. But either way, we had to stay up and look at it, to cover it. But this match was really good. I liked Black Panther 3. It was really good. I was really impressed with Ray Phoenix, not even just because of his suplex, which reminded me of Riho doing that suplex on Nyla Rose 2 weeks ago. She did the same thing, and I was really impressed with her because she's so small. But she did that. But either way, I was really impressed with Ray Phoenix and all of his high-flying moves and him walking on the ropes and doing everything he was doing, his acrobatics. Like, I love lucha wrestling. So watching him do all of that and prove to be, that dude to challenge Powerhouse Hobbs at that point was a really good start. It was a really good start to Rampage. But Powerhouse Hobbs came out with the win. But, of course, QT Marshall, was the X factor in that. But either way, it was still a good match. I enjoyed it.
What about you, Miss Sandal? What you think of Black Panther 3?
First of all, I had to laugh.
Me too, because I was like,
because
wait, what?
I know exactly why you said what you said. And
Namor comes back.
Because now I can't unsee it. I'm not going to unsee it.
The feather serpent's gold.
Fine too. Oof.
And like
he came at that water.
He was fine.
He looked good on them red carpet.
He was fine then. He was fine in Narcos. The minute I heard he was when I saw him as Neymar, I was like, wait. I said, that's my fawn. That's the fawn one that got arrested because he was
on the red carpets.
He looks so good. And him and Lupita.
I need the romance.
I wanted them.
I
wanted them to be a thing, but he has a man. She has a man, so it's okay. But they would have been so cute.
Lucky him. I'm still waiting for Neymar to get somebody. I feel like he will find somebody, but like I was just like I was living for him during the press, and I know they were all like being sentimental because of Black Panther and the meaning behind it, which pisses me off more that Queen Angela didn't get the flowers that she rightfully deserves. But that's a whole other topic for a different rant that I got. But
they ain't gonna do right by
that category was hard. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
But you know what?
It was hard.
You know what pisses me off? I was like, all right, if it ain't Angela, if you ever watch everything, if you ever watch them, it should have went to Stephanie. What was homegirl doing there?
That's what my boyfriend said.
In the words of Bianca Belair, like, not for nothing, Jamie Lee Curtis has done nothing worthy. You don't belong here. Like, it would have, like, if she got a stage, if she walked the, I love, but not.
I love Jamie too.
Not there. Not for that. Not for that.
That's the horror queen, not Jamie.
Right.
That's the mama for Freaky Friday.
Right. Not for that. Like anything else that she's done, Sage, definitely not for that. They should have gave that to Steph.
And Jamie yes.
Yeah.
Like, you've been here 50 years in the business. They had to give it to somebody. You've been here long enough.
Yeah, and then the worst part about it was Angela waited for so long before she was nominated the last time. That was 30 years ago. That's 30 years ago. I am. That's how old I will be this year. It's 30 years since the last time she was nominated for an Oscar. You nominate her and then she doesn't win. But it's like I said, we can't be looking for these places to give us our things when they don't respect us in the first place.
That's why Tyler Perry about to get BET.
Yep.
That's why we about to have our own stuff.
Yeah, and he had a movie awards at one point, but then it stopped. But I really want us to just have more of our own awards for movies.
I mean, Tyler Perry's
it's abundantly clear.
He's working on it. I mean, the lace fronts on these shows have been getting a little better. So once you upgrade
Yes.
that budget, everything's up the window. But the hair been on point. Because I remember when
That
first
comment.
Tyler Perry movies and the frontals, I still want justice for what's his name in that
Shamar
movie?
Moore.
Boris Kojo.
Yes, him, Boris Kojo, and Shamar Moore. I want justice for that, for them straight backs. How you have him having nappy straight backs? You mean to tell me he was a grown ass man working public service, couldn't get his hair clean cut? Went to a wedding with an outgrown straight back
in Atlanta.
Right. Okay,
in Atlanta.
Back to the wrestling.
Back to the match.
I'm gonna skip through this one because this one was just a squash match. Nobody cared. Bollywood Boys versus Daddy Magic. Nobody cared. We watched it. They got their woohoo. Main event, we had Daniel Garcia versus Brody King. This was actually pretty good for Daniel Garcia. Brody King still looks strong. Daniel Garcia was entertaining. Daniel Garcia picked up the W. And like I've been saying on the shows, if you've been paying attention to Jazz's story within their story, you see Jericho helped Daniel Garcia get his win. It's still the fight for Jericho between Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. So I feel like that's going to play a part. So we're just going to have to keep paying attention. Okay, that's enough Rampage because we ain't got to.
Yeah.
We ain't got to get that. Now we can get into women business, stuff that matters. Women business, play it, Graham, play it.
This is what you need to do. You need to stay out of women business.
That's what you need to do. You need to
stay out of women business.
Hello.
Because Patricia, he was always in women business. All right, we're gonna start off with Dynamite that happened. Jade Cargill versus the mystery opponent, Canada's own. At first, it was Nicole Matthews, of course. Jade, put another W on the board. And then Taya Valkyrie comes out because Jade was like, Canada, is this all you got? And she called everybody sorry. And, Jade talks her shit or whatever. Then we had Taya. Of course, she came out. And like I've been saying, perfect person, perfect vet. This is the vet that Jade needs. We've been saying it. I've been saying it on here. It takes two. I'm happy. Most of the complaints have been, we don't get enough Jade. We don't get enough Jade. But we also have to see on the flip side that she did tell Tony whenever she's ready to take her vacations, her break, she's able to, which he grants her. So you can't have it both ways. Either you work in a booth or you want a vacation. Because you have to progress in your craft. And I feel like Taya is the perfect vet to help her improve because I know she's ready for the Jamie Haters and the Ruby Soho. In-ring wise, no. And it's no shade at all. But in-ring wise, you're not ready for Jamie Hater. You can be. You can get there. But the 5 power moves and no maneuvers is not going to fly with a talent like Jamie Hayter. Any of y'all want to give your input on Jade Cargill or how you feel?
I feel like the problem with Jade Cargill, and like, mind you, I'm one of the people that saw the streak start firsthand in Newark. I was excited for this title to kind of be more of less like a leeway, not just having one title, first of all, because they're not going to get a AEW women's tag team match. And then I also felt like there's not enough for Jade. Like, it felt like if anybody notices, her streak is based off of people who aren't qualified for the women's championship yet, versus everybody who already tried for the women's championship and failed. That's where her streak consisted of. She's only, out of all the people that were there, I felt like she's only had about 4 qualified opponents that have actually put her through a ringer. But other than that, it's been squash match after debut match after, all right, we're going to send this famous person in this town, which is what they did with Nicole Matthews. She's very well known in Canada. We're just going to throw them into the ring and that's it. Like, we're going to make them an attraction. feed her to Jade. Like it's almost like a tiger. Like Jade's that special tiger that you want to display in the Zoom, and it's like, oh, it's time for y'all to see how she eat. Boom, here she goes. Well, when you have now Taya in the picture, you now have the fifth person that's going to put in work with her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still waiting to see where everything goes as far as if this streak is going to end here, because I agree with you 1000%, Keeks. Like you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna hold this belt, but I also need a break and I also need vacation, which I think it's a good thing because we're seeing what happens. It's burnout is real. We've seen it with Sasha. Now she's Mercedes because Sis was burnt out. It happens. But at the same time, like you're sitting here doing all these things with Bryan Danielson. I know she knows that people think this streak is irrelevant. Like she'd be crazy. Like she'd be crazy not to know what her critics are saying about her. This may be the time where, all right, now you get to see me work. I think they're going to work very well together, especially with Ty, because Sis is no joke.
And a great teacher.
I enjoy her being a part of the Death Dolls on Impact. So I know they said she was a free agent, which I found that whole scenario interesting. I wasn't expecting for her to debut so quickly. Mm-hmm. I thought they were going to give it a little bit of time, but it's like, nope, you're straight in AEW.
Tony said, here's the money.
Right.
We need some more help, please.
Like, we got nobody. Jade ain't got nobody. I'm about to recycle people for Jade Hater. Here, just come. We got fruit snacks.
What you think, Miss Hardy, of Jade so far?
Well, Jade is proving now in terms of her being a champion. I did not expect her to be a champion for over a year. And I feel like it's a good accomplishment that is to be commended. However, I am wondering, how long is this going to last, and will her abilities be able to carry her to the next level? Because, like you said, with her wrestling skills, up against all the people who've had more wrestling, time put in, and with all those women that have been champion, it just makes me wonder, how will she rise to the occasion of fighting them? Now, I, of course, do not live with this woman, so I can't, of course, say that she's not training, she's not putting in the work, because I have heard of her training with Bryan Danielson and others or whatever. But a part of me just really feels like if she really does want to go to that upper level, which I believe she can, because she has it all in terms of a package, then she really does need to step her game up. But as far as the match is concerned, from the Dynamite portion, I was very disappointed that she had basically a squash match, because the way that they were building it up with her calling out people in Canada, like saying, oh, I could beat this person, I could beat this person, I could beat this person from Canada. Like I was expecting her to fight Taya Valkyrie right then.
I think I've heard
that's what I was expecting, and that didn't happen, and I was just like, well, dang.
I've heard I'm sorry, but I think I heard of something from the timeline that Taya's flight was late, or it didn't arrive at a certain time, so it was like a last minute thing that they did because they didn't get to rehearse or work with each other before the ring. So I think that's what happened, because she did go back home and then flew right back out.
Right. Well, that's what. But I felt like it still worked out the way it was supposed to, because people would have been, if they had a match and she lost, then what? Then what it would have done for Taya Valkyrie?
Yeah.
Nothing. Like, at least with this now, wherever it's going, because they're in Canada for a while. So wherever this goes, if she does win, there's more of a build-up behind it. Like the match on Rampage works out also perfectly too. I don't know why they keep bringing Sterling in here, but it works, to have him like take the notes and kind of still have Layla Gray there as a baddie. It still works, because now you're still putting Jade back in the forefront, putting her back in the front of everything. So I mean, that's another thing. A lot of people think she's just another power athlete, but what's wrong with her being like a power athlete? Let's be real. Like, you need them. We need a strong female. Like, we goo and over China 24/7. We love China. Like, let Jade have that. Let Jade have that stability. She does need a little bit more work. Who doesn't?
I think it's more the only thing that I've always complained. She just has to learn to trust her opponent.
Right.
And she still doesn't trust certain opponents. Like she didn't trust Nyla Rose in the ring.
Right.
It's Nyla Rose. Like she did trust Athena, but it took a little minute for her to even trust Athena.
Right.
So she's just still learning to trust her opponent. Wrestling is dancing. It's just like a dance. You have to your partner. We go this way. You go cha-cha with your right. Now turn to
It's like left foot, right foot, let a Cupid shuffle, you know?
You gotta trust
But
it. So
I feel like it's good that they didn't like just out and wrestle. Like Tanya didn't answer it just off the rip. Like let people marinate in the moment that you now have a worthy opponent for Jade. Like this is a worthy opponent in my opinion for Jade.
yeah.
Yeah, it is worthy. Like she really is a worthy opponent for her. Like she's gonna grow from this experience, whether Taya wins or whether she doesn't win and Jade remains undefeated. You know,
Right.
it's gonna be a good fit for her and a way for her to learn. So it's a win-win. But I was just in that moment, just so excited from the hype of it that I was just like, oh, are they gonna fight now? And then they didn't, and I was like, oh. But you know, I get it.
Now, this is still a topic of women business. I don't know if y'all noticed, but they having who has the longer lasting Black woman champion between the two companies.
I saw that.
And I've been paying attention. I'm like, I said, because when they announced that Bianca is now the longest reigning, I was like, I see what the fuck is going on around here. Y'all is not slick, both of y'all. Tony Khan and Trips, y'all is not slick.
Listen, the marketing mind in me, as soon as I saw that ESPN reported on Jade Cargill being the first ever, I was like, oh, okay. I said, all right now. I said, so this is now. I said what I think is going to be another episode of a telenovela. Sorry, blaxploitation film is to see. You gonna drop it first? No, you do it first. No, you're not going to. Okay, okay. And it's WrestleMania season. I see what I saw what they were doing too.
Whoever dropping it first, then they gonna drop it. Oh, okay.
It's like that part where it's just like, listen, we both hit the ground on 3. 1, 2. You didn't look like you was gonna hit the ground. No, you didn't look like you was gonna drop it. Fine. We both won't hit the ground. Be like, nope.
One of them gonna drop it.
Nah. They gonna have to, because it's like, listen, this whole Undertaker type shit that I'm going through right now. Like Roman Reigns has been there. Like Roman Reigns has had it. Whoo, child! I didn't even realize it's been what, 2 years?
Yes, over 900 days.
I didn't even realize that. Like I really had to look at like, holy crap! He won that during the pandemic.
Yeah, and then they turned the whole storyline into one big playlist that you could sit and watch for a whole hour.
I didn't realize Kevin Owens had so many chances at the title. Second of all,
he did during the Thunder Room era.
Bianca could have fought Roman Reigns and we wouldn't even known about it. Like, come on now.
That's ultimately what I'm hoping for.
Can you put Elon Brown's comment up? No, sir.
No, we're not doing that yet.
No.
We're not doing that.
I don't believe Jade is not there for that level.
Nope.
Please, I need for
Mercedes
everybody.
and Jamie, hater. That's what we want.
My goat would be a reality check, and I don't want that to happen to her like that.
Yeah, we the Forbidden Door. We already said either Mercedes versus Jamie or Mercedes versus Sheeta. That's it. That's them the only two. That is it.
That would be a fire match though, Sheeta and I just got a boner anyway.
I have to do an extra episode on that.
Just thinking of it. Oh my god, I got chills. Yeah, don't do Jade like that. Don't do that.
Yeah, no. Jade, it would be so much workaround. It'd be whiplash for Jade, and we not there yet. Like Daniel Bryanson has not put her up to the preparation of certain people. He's only given her, like, let's be real, he's given her the basics and what can make her special. Because her finisher is special. It's an ode. But like he's giving her the basics so that she doesn't look bad in the ring. You get what I'm saying? Like she's not struggling. If you look at old Jade Cargill versus Jade Cargill training with when CM Punk was helping her and when Bryan Danielson was helping her, it's a complete improvement. but
Yes.
it's not there yet. It still needs time to cook.
Yeah, still no problem.
Sorry, Elaine. I didn't mean to give your hopes down, but that's just the honest truth. And to King Quest, Mark Quinn is injured. That's why he hasn't been on screen. He's injured again. He's injury prone. So I am kind of scared because this is different than Dante Martin and his brother. So I'm scared for Mark Quinn. But yeah, he got injured again. So he's out again. Let me continue on because there's still more on the agenda, and I don't want to be hold y'all too late. So after that, we had the Outcast.
This is fun.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
Outcast. Oh, thank you. We had the Outcast segment. They came out. They cut their promos or whatever. Their heels.
Wait, let's talk about this.
Let it known that they're heels. They're here to be heels. And then we had Britt Baker and also Jamie Hayter. They ran out to attack. They end up getting jumped. Shout out to the Levi's on Jamie Hayter. Also, they was basically getting jumped, and then we had Riho. She's basically the Sting in this storyline. We know this is the same Outlanders and NWO storyline, but they're twisting it in their own way. So, yeah, Riho is the Sting in the story. If you're not familiar with the story, so. I guess it's probably the best that AEW Women's Division storyline wise has been. So I'm still letting it cook. We know it's leading to AEW's their first women's blood and guts match. So that's gonna be. I can't wait. Y'all know I'm a sucker for blood. I can't wait. That's what it's leading to.
I'm happy.
So
I'm happy with that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm happy with. Stendhal, you don't like that?
No, I'm here for Rhea. I feel like she's going way. They're trying to put her through a certain ringer that I don't like. As of late, like she had to deactivate her Twitter recently because of how they were treating her. And then Eddie Kingston, and that's why we stand Eddie Kingston around these here parts in the tri-state because he followed because of how she's being treated. She deactivated her entire Twitter because even now I was looking at some of the tweets.
Some Cornet stands.
Yeah, like, and mind you, that's your God. Like, come on, choose a better God. Choose a better God. Like, not him.
Cannot.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Blanchard's right there. Like, come on, guys. Let's be real.
Or I'm right here. You know, listen to me.
Yeah, listen to these two queens up here. Like, come on now. Like, right. But as far as that segment, I felt like it was perfect. Like, if it wasn't Rio coming out by herself, I like that they're also pushing Sky Blue way more. I like that finally they decided to put Willow back on the screen, and it's poetry in motion because at one point Willow like has some of Ruby's blood on her. And now Ruby's heel and there. That I'm like, you know what? I like it. All you pro wrestling, like it's like female JAS personified. Like y'all are all sports entertainers. Let's be real. Y'all still have that blood in you. Don't matter where you go, you still have a sample of that blood in you, and you all know it. But now you're using it to the best of your advantage and making a staple out of it. It's perfect.
It is perfect. And I really enjoy the fact that the Outcasts, became a thing and was just like, well, we are the Outcasts. We're the ones who came from this bigger company and we're not a part of the AEW DNA or whatever. So we're just going to gang up on everybody else. And because we're better and we have more experience than some of these girls. And it's just, but what's so funny about the whole situation is it's just like y'all had to start the same way these AEW women had to start.
And they started in the indies.
You got to the big thing.
Yeah, and they all started in the indies.
So, but whatever, outside of that, I still think it's really an interesting display that's giving more women something to do outside of the realms of the titles, which is something that I'm a big advocate for. Like, if it's not centered around just the titles, like give the women something else to do and don't just keep them off television.
Exactly.
I am happy that the Outcasts are doing this, and I love that Jamie, the champion, and Dr. Britt and Riho are all, beginning to stand up to them and actually show themselves strong with their numbers. So I'm ready to see whatever this war is going to be. Like, it's giving 90s, but in a really good and different way. And I like it.
I know that's right. And And then after that, on Women Business, it was announced that Sarah Stock is a new coach and also producer for the AEW Women's Division. So that's a huge sign for the Women's Division. Sarah Stock is a vet. She's been a producer before. She's produced matches for NXT, places like Impact. She's been all over the place. She's done some indie matches. She's been in TNA. She's been in Triple A. She's been all over. So you know or you've seen of Sarah Stock. So do your Googles, as they say. Also, Women Business on Rampage, it was Taya Valkyrie versus Eva Lawless. That was my first time seeing her. Ava, I'm sorry. I said Eva. Ava. It was just to showcase Taya's ability to the newer people that's never seen her wrestle before, or, just to showcase her match that she still got it, of course. A squash match, and of course Jade, and also Mark, and also Layla Gray was watching and stuff. Jade and her whatever. That is cute.
It's
One thing about
cute.
Jade, she be serving, honey.
Give me that money fan.
No, I want that money fan and I want that outfit. Like, one thing about Jade, she be serving. Like, her fronts will be on fleek, her outfit be on fleek.
What's the picture like, Brown?
Just her fleek, all of it, fleek, all of it.
I need that.
It's giving 10 across the board. I mean, man, let me tell you, I need that fan. I would be a nuisance. I need that fan for my birthday. Like, every morning, clack, clack, like, open it.
Yes. Fan me quick, girl. I need my glass.
But I like the fact that this match happened, like I said, because people want to say they don't know Taya Valkyrie, but you know her. So this was just to give everybody a little, like, added a little spice to who Jade is going up against. So I liked it.
I like it.
Yeah. And then the fact that she used Jade's move too.
Oh, that was like,
even though it's not like specifically hers, because plenty of women have used it, but it was just an extra spice of the idea that you're using her move right in front of her too. Like, that is gonna be some really fire stuff there. Like, I'm really excited about Taya Valkyrie being there, and I love the match with her and Ava Lawless. That was my first time seeing Ava Lawless too, so you're not alone in that, Kiki.
Yeah,
I didn't know who that was, but apparently she's really good. She's from Canada as well, so it says she's really good out there in the Canada Indies. But I'm probably have to do my Googles. My bad. So this is my first time, but she had a cute ring gear. It was cute. She came prepared. She was confident, but she just had to do her job, and she did her job. Well, good job, Ava. Good job on taking the bumps that you were supposed to take. Those are important. So the Women Business of the Week goes to Miss Taya Valkyrie. Great debut. You're a great vet. I appreciate you, and I cannot wait to see what you do in AEW in the women division. Great vet, great sign, much needed.
Yes, much needed.
She can be our Natalie, because we need a Natty.
We do. You know what is funny?
Yeah.
People. I was not a big Natty person, but then I had to, like, pull my own personal, because, like, I feel like, not to get into WWE business, but, like, Total Divas kind of ruined Natty for me, because I'm like, she was giving me pick me vibes, and I was like, why are y'all trying to edit her to be a pick me? Like, she's, like, not for nothing, she's the only person who could teach all those women how to wrestle. She taught the Bellas how to wrestle. Why are y'all trying to make me not like her? And I hate pick me's. Like, she's very much, like, complaining about everything. You had doing this thing with Summer Rae, but aside from all that, she's taught everybody what they need to know, because, like, you can only compete with people so long. It's better to teach your opponents. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, for my respect, right? She's mama. Like, she's the locker room leader for
She really is
the WWE's women's division right now. And I feel like with the AEW, I feel like that's what they always need. Like, Britt, I feel like has stepped into it just a little bit. But then now that all these women are getting roles, you now have mentors. And then, of course, you have like Bryan Danielson, who sticks up for the women by teaching Jade, by conditioning with these girls. You finally have what we thought was the lack of women's wrestling in perspective of AEW kind of taking more of a turn. So,
and I'm glad
because they had
Tanya as an addition is going to work out.
Because they also, Billy Gunn is also
right,
producer and coach for the women's division as well. So they have Serena Deeb is still injured, but their coaches, they have Serena Deeb. Now they have Sarah Stock and Billy Gunn. And then the two producers so far is Sarah Stock and Billy Gunn. So
I like
that's
it.
good for their evolution. Yes, and Madison.
And Madison Ray.
Yes, Madison Ray.
Madison Ray has been putting in work.
Y'all knew I was forgetting somebody. I'm like,
because it's crazy because we were seeing Madison Ray be introduced as wrestling. Like she was wrestling, which I thought was good. But like now that I think about it too, that is a really good. And Madison Ray is natty. Like she really was. And I forgot she was in the Mae Young Classic. She even she didn't sign, but she killed it there. And then she's like the queen. She was literally the Killer Queen. I was a fan of Madison Ray when she was the Killer Queen gimmick. I was like, I'm loving this. Anybody who comes in with a pageant crown and starts waving and shit, I'm with that shit. So she's probably going to teach them about character, which is also what they need. So you see these stables and stuff like that, like Paige, Tony, and Ruby, they all know what to do. They've been there. But as far as like if you want to assemble anything that's out of pocket storyline and then make it an assemble, she's there to coach them because she knows about gimmicks, she knows about stables. She can do that.
Yeah, because I know Billy Gunn produces the AEW WWE segment.
Right.
And he was doing Jade's too. So now he can focus more on this storyline and then she could take over because I heard that she's going to start producing for her. So maybe we'll see. That's why that's why I got that name up now. Tony, don't even think about it. Please don't.
Can I ask who's the dweeb?
Goldberg.
Oh God, no. I will stop watching. Anyways,
agent. That's why I was like,
no,
don't.
Let him stay one.
Don't do it.
I beg.
He was doing so good.
That's so weird.
They have a better chance of getting Scott Steiner back in the ring than doing that.
Well, he just signed that Legends contract, so
Why would he do that?
Braun Breaker's there, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Braun Breaker's there, so that's here nor there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give a brief rundown because we saw the announcement. Kenny Omega is wrestling Vikingo this Wednesday. The match that was supposed to happen in 2020 and not 2020, 2020. No, it was 2020. It was supposed to happen in 2020, but Kenny was injured, so it didn't happen, but it's happening. My boy got his visa. He is in the US of A now. If you're not familiar, this man, he started in 2012. Now, mind you, he was the one that they was not like, we don't see nothing in him. He's not giving us Ray Phoenix because Ray Phoenix was off the charts as he is right now. So they was just like, he's not, no, we don't see it. Got it. His father trained him. His father's the legendary King Vikingo. Trained with him, kept training with him. And now he was ranked number 8 last year. We haven't seen a Latino in the top 10 since Rey Mysterio. He was ranked number 5 in Sports Illustrated last year. We haven't had that since Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero.
You just made me think. I just realized that we haven't had a top. Damn.
Jesus.
Nope.
Yeah.
We had Lucha Brothers, but they was in the tag team.
Right.
But
not even Andrade. What was? I gotta look at where Andrade. Wow. Jeez.
Yeah. So he is him. Do some clips. He is him. He's one of them. Rey Fénix bowed to him at a AAA match. Rey Mysterio gave him a mask. So that's a big thing.
Wow.
So the torch already been passed to him.
Okay.
So he's him. And this will be a great match. Great way for everybody to see him. Everybody's seen the clips of what he does and all of that. So this is a match that everybody has been looking forward to in a long time. So have any of you seen him or seen clips of him?
I'm gonna get off this podcast and watch him now. Cause now I'm interested. And you know what's funny? I like dibble and dabble in AAA. I was watching AAA only because I knew Deanna Peraza went down there and obtained the belt the last time, but I haven't been. I need to give it a little bit more of my time, because that's an interesting thing to know that he about that. So I need to now invest. But if this is, I need to do my homework so now I can get myself riled up for Wednesday, because the way you just described him, I'm sold. Like I'm sold. Let me go into my archive and see what I'm looking at here.
Yes, it's some phenomenal talent in Mexico. They have some great athletes, and that's one of the things that AEW gets right when it comes to the Latino, the Mexican, the luchadors. They get that right. That's all. This is what Eddie Guerrero always wanted. He always wanted to be authentic. If we don't know English, we just don't know it. Just let us work. Just let us work. And that's one thing that they do get right, because Lucha Brothers is probably another famous since Rey Fénix and Eddie Guerrero. You know, Bandito is starting to get up there. Like, this
Dragon Lee's in NXT.
Dragon Lee's in NXT now, yeah.
Yeah, that's how they always just wanted to be represented. So it's major when we never had a hot free agent that's since Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio from Mexico like that. So we haven't seen nothing like this in a long time. So
yeah, I'm excited. Like, I had never heard of him before, but I'm pretty sure like tomorrow in my free time, I'll look him up and figure that out, and just learn more about that, because I am looking forward to seeing that match Wednesday.
Yes. So make sure you do your clips. If you're not familiar, please watch some clips, watch some full matches. Yes, he does a lot of acrobatic things, but he's also technical as well. So he can do both. Don't get it twisted. He can do both. So he's really, really great.
Because I knew I was like, when the Wrestling Observer was like, they did an article piece on that, and I was just like, it's crazy. Now, even you pointed out now, like, I'm really thinking about it. There hasn't been a top 10. That's nuts.
Yeah.
I gotta see if he's in the triple. Is he in the Triple Mania? If he's part of Triple Mania, okay. So now I'm definitely watching it because I'm invested.
Matter of fact, if you want to start it, you should watch the Triple Mania when it was him versus Jay Lethal versus Bobby Fish versus Bandito, and I believe Andrade was on there too.
Oh wow!
I believe so.
Keeks, we're gonna talk because you're gonna have to help me open up the gate.
Yes.
And anybody in the comments too, y'all could drop a suggestion.
Yeah.
Because I want to say, because since Sasha is now in New Japan, that means she can wrestle Fabi.
But she's been learning. She went to Mexico to train.
I know, but
there was a lot of lucha in that last match.
CMLL, and CMLL and New Japan has a deal together, so we can possibly see a Mercedes versus Fabi, y'all.
And even at that, if we don't see it this year, she says she wants to go everywhere. My prayer is that she does spend some time in AAA, because like AAA ain't nothing to be slept on. So I might.
No, it would have to be CMLL. It can't be AAA.
You did okay. That makes sense.
Yeah, they got the partnership together.
Right. I gotta think about that partnership and something. Like, there's so much partnership going on up in here. Yeah. Like, yeah, I understand mergers, but I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, who's with who? I never like what. Like, somebody told me there's about to be. I remember when I first heard that Impact and New Japan were doing a show. And I'm like, what did they have a merger? I thought it was with AEW. I'm like, it's too much, y'all. That's why Vince is like, I'm not like Vince is like, we're WWE and that's it. Like,
and that upsets me because you know how many amazing matches we could have if WWE decided to actually play with other people. I'm still upset that the New Day never got to face off against the Elite the way that they should have in like 2011, 2012. Like that should have been a thing outside of up, down,
it's money. It's money.
And you left all that money on the table for what?
Some people don't care about. Some people just don't look at the aspect of money, or they think that they can just like beat around the bush and not say it's about money when really it's about money. They just didn't know how to beat around the bush with it. That's just, you know.
Think of the main event: Kenny Omega versus Roman Reigns. Like, bro,
you would eat.
You just have a bunch of these boys just sitting there like this. Just like their drool coming through the side, their boners sitting somewhere in between their $2,000 seats, just in awe. You probably would hear a pin drop.
Right.
Like, child, let me tell you something.
Cry.
Listen,
Roman
I would
Reigns
weep.
versus no.
I don't know. No.
Versus Seth.
Y'all can't be. See, it's the thing with dream cards. Stop throwing dream cards all over the place. Make it make sense. Look at the stats. Like,
hell no.
No. Look at the stats, people. Stop pairing the popular people with the popular.
There ain't no money.
I'm sad we'll never get.
No, bro.
I'm sad we'll never.
Respectfully,
I'm sad that we'll never get the Usos versus the
Randy Orton versus Tanahashi.
You know what?
You could do something with that.
You can do that. Yeah.
You could do something with that.
Yeah. That's a good one. But not everything is to be seen. That's I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Well, that shit made me mad. Like, Usos versus.
It's funny because like, not for nothing on Fan Club, and Vaughn knows this, I said that you never know where Sasha can go. She can go to Impact, and I got roasted. Everybody was like, she's not wasting her time and her money going to Impact. And then I watched that last pay-per-view Impact had, and I was like, I respectfully eat my own words. I hope she does not. That was terrible. Like, And I love me some Misha Slamovich. I don't know what that match was. I don't think it was good. It was decent, but I was just like, what am I watching? Like, it's so much missing from Impact they still have to work on. So even with New Japan Pro Wrestling merger, I'm just like, if y'all don't make it good off of that.
I mean, they still got some good wrestlers. It's just the owner just didn't care to try. But
and don't they have a new owner now?
No, I believe Scott D'Amore is now made the president.
President, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh well, my bad.
It's like no excitement from that.
Well, Miss Stephanie, who is your AEW wrestler of the week?
Well, my AEW wrestler of the week is Taya Valkyrie because her debut on AEW Dynamite made such a huge splash, and I was just really excited about it and the possibility of her and Jade possibly fighting. And it's looking like we're going to have a build up, towards it, which is fine, and I'm okay with that. But, I'm really excited about what she's going to offer the women's division, and she could possibly be the next TBS champion. And if not, like I said earlier, she will make Jade Cargill step up her game. So she's my AEW wrestler of the week.
What about you, Miss Sandoll? Who is your AEW wrestler of the week?
My AEW wrestler of the week is QT Marshall. Because shout out to him. He is from Livingston, New Jersey, Jersey in the house. And his back and forth with Raj from wrestling. I'm sorry, I'm laughing at the fact that I was like, had to think about it before I even said who's my wrestler of the week, because it's like, you got to get somebody who's behind the brand. You got to get somebody who, no matter what the company's going through, no matter what they think, they're behind the brand. He was silent during that melee because, and I quote, what he said was, if I wasn't there, I'm not talking. Respect number one. Respect number two was that his full-length apology is there. It's on Twitter. what he basically said to sum it up was, listen, you can feel how you want to feel. What you're not going to do is put the integrity of these people that bust their ass in this company because you think that it's good journalistic opinion for you to just give me whatever the hell you're thinking. I don't care. I don't care for your opinion. Don't disrespect what we're trying to build. Not everything's WWE. Not everything's going to be the way you want it to be. But at the end of the day, everybody that's backstage, including me, is working hard to make this brand work. And it aligns with what you actually said, Keeks. Because I know a couple of weeks ago, you said on here that a lot of people put their journalistic integrity on the back burner in order to get those free seats or get mentioned or get those retweets or get that YouTube podcast interview. And it can't be like that. Like, you have to know when you're going a little bit too far. I personally think Vibes went a little bit too far because it was like, okay, where are you getting? Like, enough is enough. Like, slow it the hell down. Like, it's on top of that, I'm always the type of person that's like, it's not that serious. He was picking and choosing when to be serious about his comments, and QT had to check him, which is what you got checked. And respect on QT for being man enough to be like, listen, I'm gonna put this statement up there. I'm a human being. I've been in this business too long. I've been broke in this business. I've been rich in this business. I broke my neck in this business. I've learned in this business. I've taught people in this business. So it's not just about AEW. It's about the business overall. If you're going to be a journalist here, the way I have to respect your opinion and what you say, respect the work that we do. Then come and say what you have to say. So if y'all want, I'm not going to put the apology up here. I'm not reading it. If you want the full apology, QT Marshall still has it on his Twitter, but I had to give him the respect. Like, he really took he really did the Apple Note apology correctly. And it gave me more respect from, like, I always crack on, like, all right, the factory is just like there. Like, the rest he has there are good, but I feel like QC Marshall was like the teacher that's just like, that's my boy. Like, how wrestling, it just reminds me of how like college wrestling coaches are. That's the vibe he give me. But now that I see that his passion is really in the business, he and even him too, JD from NY, he always goes too far. I blocked him, so I don't care what he got to say. But other than that, I just have that respect for QT. You have to stand up for the brand. I hope the reason why Tony Khan is finally like, you know what, let me put you in the front Powerhouse House, because now the people that should be rooting for your company, let's be real, that should have put your company first instead of their personal business first, still haven't really done it the way they're supposed to. But here's QT Marshall doing it for you. So now I'm going to put you in the front and give you the respect you gave me and what I'm trying to build because you see it. And I'm going to put you where I feel like I need to put you, which is right on my TV screen.
What about you, Stephanie? Who is your AEW wrestler of the week?
Do we have to say another one? Because I said it was Taya.
Yeah, she said it was Taya Valkyrie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But now
I just went a little bit into depth. I'm sorry.
No,
I
was just like, okay, I was making sure. My bad. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's okay.
My AEW wrestler of the week goes to Jeff Jarrett. Like I said, he's 55 years old. Kept up with Orange Cassidy. Great match, phenomenal. He's a great vet, the right vet. My favorite signing so far in AEW. He's done his job. So give it up for Jeff Jarrett. That is my wrestler of the week. Lord, this my goofy of the week is GCW. Why is there a naked man wrestling? I don't.
What?
It was a man. He was naked, and he wrestled against Matt Cardona, like.
Okay.
And he was naked
in
like,
the nude.
Oh God!
Like, as a main event, I don't.
GCW has the power to be so much more, but then they just. It's
Why
just,
is there naked man wrestling?
Why are you doing certain things?
Like, everything is out naked.
Everything is out. Like,
Jeez.
he jumping off the top ropes, ass out.
No.
Out. Swinging everywhere out. It was crazy.
That is different.
No.
And then you know what's crazy? Isn't Misha Slamovich is about to have a match with Nick Cage, which I also think is like, what the hell are y'all doing? And I just saw the promo for it. I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Like, I understand Nick Cage and Nick. Like, I don't know whether, and it makes me more perspective into what's going on with him because of his Dark Side of the Ring episode. But I'm just like, dude, you like yay close to meeting God. Between that and people being naked, I don't know. People are fans of it. I'm not a huge fan.
It's nasty.
The only person butt naked out drip, butt naked out naked wrestling. We've seen that. I have not seen it. I don't know if I want to see it. We still used to like tight, brief Randy Orton. We just getting over that. Like, because that was a time. Sweaty, oily Randy Orton was a time. You know, that was a time. Like, a lot of it was a time. Bianca Belair showing as much skin as she is right now. That's the new time that I'm on. But exactly, like, we like. So why are we violating me while I have to sit here and watch this match? And Matt, blink twice if you need to just get out at this point, because I don't know.
The clip is everywhere on Twitter. Like, the man jumping off the ropes, he got body slammed, just naked, no clothes, no nothing.
Yo, you know what's funny? When I stopped watching, they had an Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan wrestling match, and I thought it was a joke. But it's like, I thought it was like 3 years ago. Yeah, I have to look this up on YouTube. I was just like, this is a joke, right? This is like a video game simulation. That was a real fucking match.
You mean like on some Vince McMahon versus God type stuff?
No. I'm going to send you the link, Steph. Like, it's literally Invisible Man versus Invisible Stan. And it was a match.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
GCW, yeah, you're goofy of the week. Nobody wants to see nothing like this.
The ref, you see, he knows what I'm talking about. The ref carries the match. Because I don't know. I don't know. What do you think they're... Okay.
He's a legend. Sexy Eddie. That's his name.
He wrestled against Sammy.
Porn stars.
He got what?
Them X's, like them porn star names. That's how it's spelled. The Sexy Eddie.
This is a part of the community.
How much you get paid?
I'm not sure.
How much you getting paid for these matches?
Is
the check good at least? Can you pay your car? Can you pay your rent with that check?
It's beyond me.
This is beyond me.
Can you pay? No, I'm concerned because how much? Can somebody tell me how much a GCW ticket is? Like, can you pay rent? Can you buy a car? Can you get your girlfriend some Tiffany's?
But y'all went to go see a naked man. Man, that's what kills me.
Y'all don't like women's wrestling, but y'all want to see a naked man wrestle.
But you homophobic. That's what I don't understand about they.
But that's what I don't get. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many men that are like, oh, Sasha's this and Jade is that, but y'all like are entertained by a butt naked, cheek out man wrestling Matt Cardona. And Matt Cardona, I feel like when I saw the tweet with all his belts on him, I'm like, why are you still there? Why are you still there? Why? How much you getting paid? Is your house bought? Did it pay for your wedding? Is he serious?
GCW ticket.
I'm low-key scared that Matt Cardona might be fighting the idea that he really wants to go back to WWE and just
which he will.
Like, I feel like he's fighting it because on social media he posts something all the time about how his wife is on there, but yet he's still doing this, and I gotta do this, and I'm just like, stop fighting it and just go back.
For me, I feel like once you've been burned, and he was really burned by that company. When you think of everything, even like mind you, they gave him the tag team titles, took it off of him, and then it was like, all right, bye. Like, you and your friend can go. Like, and they were there, and I didn't realize. It took me a while to realize. I'm like, yo, I just watched WrestleMania, the Madison Square Garden WrestleMania, and he was there when Edge. He was a part of Edge's crew. Him and
he was the Edgeheads.
He was an Edgehead. Like, he was there for a while. So a lot of people get burned by the company. They're not as vocal as, like, say, for example, CM Punk or Alberto Del Rio. But when you're burned, you're burned. And once you find your comfort somewhere else, it's hard to say, I'm going to just go back in and do what they want. Like, Cody was burned. He did all that stuff, but he went right back. A little easier for him because his ties to that company are different. It's not just belts and opponents. It's family lineage that's bringing him back.
Right.
But, like, as far as, like, people being burned and having a reason to go back, your wife can be there all she wants. Same thing with Charlotte and Andrade. Andrade got burned real bad, too. He not going to jump up and go back to WWE anytime soon, no matter how many times they make his wife the champion.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, do you have any shout outs? Any one of you have any shout outs before we get up out of here? Stephanie, you have anything coming up? You got any shout outs?
Yes. So if you I'm usually better at this. It's late. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy, and you can listen to my show, The Hardy Wrestling Podcast, everywhere you get your shows, audio, and also on YouTube for The Hardy Wrestling Podcast. I have a new episode called And All That Jazz, where I continue my Women in WrestleMania series, talking about Jazz versus Trish Stratus versus Lita at WrestleMania.
I can't wait for that.
So please go and listen and watch that episode along with news and gossipish and what I liked in wrestling last week. And also just watch me on Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet, on the WOW After Show on Mondays and on the SmackDown and Rampage After Show with our editor-in-chief, Dreon Santana, every Friday. And that's about it. And then I'll be in Los Angeles next week for WrestleMania, and I'm really excited. So yeah.
Okay. Miss Sendai, you have any shout outs?
I just want to say thank you for having me on this awesome episode of All Weeks for Keeks and Friends. I've been waiting to do this for a long time. This was fun. Book and busy me all you want to next time. If you want me to show up, I'll be here. But if you're not, you can also catch me on every Wednesday with the TWG Fan Club. Shout out to those wrestling girls with Cream PR, and also from Brian H. Waters from the Wrestling Realm, and It's Justin Rich. You can catch us there every Wednesday where we talk about everything wrestling related, and we shoot a lot of shit. With the bestest friends that anybody could ever have. You can also follow me on reload.relive on Instagram, Relive via Film on Twitter, and you can also follow my brand, The Well Minority, which is about Black mental health. We are dropping a podcast very soon, but we got a lot of other things in mind coming up too. So tune in and tap in.
All right. Well, thank you, lovely ladies, for tuning in and joining me tonight on this lady night during this Women's History Month. Make sure y'all follow them, y'all support them. They are wonderful, very, very essential to the community. So make sure y'all follow them and support them. I have nothing for y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Love you guys, and hit my getaway gram.
I love that.
Yes.
Hop the shirt.
Hop the shirt.
Yes.
You've mentioned a couple names recently. Who were they?
Listen, man. They call me the problem, but you could call me the can man, because anybody can get it. Africans, Americans, Dominicans, Mexicans.